Now, I know we don't have a lot of subscribers, so really, I really would love it if you could subscribe, because we are trying to get into that monetization, which might take us some months, and I'm quite sure it will. But every little click helps, so please do join us. The other thing I wanted to say and ask, really, I know we don't have many of you, but at least we have some. If in the comments, just put some things that might interest you, that you might say, oh, try this or do this or do that. It'd be really interesting to see what people really enjoy watching. I spend hours and hours watching YouTube videos, and then I kind of get hooked into things, and I don't have a specific genre I go for. I just see, oh, that looks interesting, I'll have a look. And so it's interesting that I'm quite across the board on what I enjoy. So I would really like the challenge. Well, not so much challenges. I'm not looking for challenges. It would be just interesting if you put in the comments what you think you wouldn't mind having a look at. Do you want us to look into something? Even if it's in the UK in the short term. I mean, while I'm here, if there's something you want me to look into, don't ask me to go to Scotland. I'm not going there. It's far too far, bearing in mind I'm in the south of England. And also, this isn't my full-time occupation. I am full-time employed, so I just don't have the time for that anyway. But, you know, areas, I don't even know. I can't even suggest what you like, because I don't know your taste. So let me know. Just stick it in the comments, wherever the comments are at the moment, and yeah, let's see if we can try and create some really interesting content. I mean, a couple of questions I would have, and you can put in the comments is, do you prefer speaking to camera like I'm doing now? Do you prefer the montages of photographs? Because I do have historical material, but that was never produced to go onto a YouTube channel. It was just my travels around the world. So I haven't got a great deal of video, but I do have a great deal of photographs, because in my previous life I was a professional photographer. So, and you can't judge me by videos, by the way, because I haven't a clue. This is a new one for me. But you know, if you like the montages, I'm quite happy to put together. I've got a montage of my flight with Eva Air quite a few years ago, 2018. But I kind of looked it up yesterday, and it was pretty cool to see. Actually, that was my very first experience of business class, and I tell you what, for the first time, it was outstanding. And bearing in mind, since then I've flown Etihad, I've flown Emirates, I've flown Finnair, all in the business class, and in one case I got first class. So. I have to say, on reflection, I would certainly put in my order of preference, but it's difficult with Emirates because I didn't do business class. So if I would just do business class alone, I would say Etihad for me was the best. Second, without a doubt, was Eva Air, and third by a long way was Finnair. And not because Finnair is terrible, the food was exceptional. It's one of the best meal services I had. However, the service and attitude is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I just couldn't recommend them. And the flip side of that, although I have to admit it was first class, Emirates, my gosh, the service, the attention to detail, the friendliness, the welcoming, everything was just outstanding. But I can compare with nothing else, so it really doesn't matter that my opinion is that, because it's the only first class experience I've had. So it's kind of, I don't know if it's a mute subject, but I just thought I'd put that out. My point being is I have lots of photographs, and you know, some of my travels to South Africa, to Portugal, to Thailand, obviously. I've been to many countries in the world, but I've got photographs from different sort of places that, you know, if you want me to put together montages of those experiences, I can do that. It's cool. The only thing is, I'm not sure that you get a good gathering, or sorry, you don't gain a good following if it's just montages of photographs, because everybody can do that. And I think people tend to sign up to channels because they like the content being put up by the person and what they are about, and when they talk to camera. Not maybe as much as I'm doing now, admittedly. So yeah, I'd love that feedback. You know, I accept we're going to get criticism. I just don't care. It's fine. You can criticize because you're welcome to, but I'm not in this for the negativity of it. If it's a, you know, constructive criticism, absolutely. But, you know, I've watched channels, that's not my own experience, but I've had some people say that some people can be pretty nasty, and, you know, that's the world over, I guess. You just got to live with it. You know, you put this stuff up there, and you're going to have the old conscientious objectors. We'll call it that, shall we? Yeah, conscientious objectors. Yeah. So look, please comment. Tell me what you like. I'd rather be building content around what you actually like rather than what I think you like. And I think it's going to be a bit in taking a bit of time to eventually get to the ideal content. I don't want to. I know that niche markets are the way to go, and you are known for example, travel photography or transport or whatever it is. But at the moment, we're just touching every little place we can, and it's a bit of a scattergun approach. If it's the right decision, I don't know, but at least it's a decision. Making a bad decision is far better than making no decision at all. So that's my tip for the day. Make a decision, for better or for worse. So that's what we're doing. We're throwing it about, and we're hoping that you like what we can do. And I keep saying we because I am part of a twosome. But I tend to be in front of the camera and she tends to be sort of behind. We both do the editing collaboratively, so I will always refer to we, myself and Snow. So that's when I say we. In case you were wondering, you'd probably not even give a monkey's what I say, but just thought I'd tell you. Now this is still very, very beautiful. This is the thing with England. It's a contradiction. It's in terms of physical countryside and so forth, it is very, very beautiful. No question, especially in summer. The downside comes when you say, do you know what, I'm going to stay and holiday in my own country. But actually, it's cheaper to go abroad. And I mean anywhere, but except Switzerland, perhaps. But it really is. You go and you're paying in these little holiday parks some silly money for drinks and silly money for food. And you think, this is not value. Not value at all. So I guess caravanning, camper van's probably a good option because you set your own rules. That's probably, that. I mean, I used to many years ago caravan and I really enjoyed it. So I would say, unless you're really wealthy in this country, you've got to find your own way around. And if you can't afford a caravan or something like that, then do you know what? It's honestly cheaper. Just take a flight. Just go somewhere else, go to Spain. Spain's outstanding. It's awesome. Love it. Portugal, fantastic. Many places in Europe. The Netherlands is absolutely lovely. So you can go to all these places and just not be ripped off. This is all it is in the UK. Is rip off, rip off, rip off. And we've got such a shame because it's almost like the UK don't understand economies of scale. It seems that way to me because if you keep your prices reasonable, you're going to be fully booked all the time. But if you decide you're going to go for up prices, you're probably running, I don't know your occupancy rates in terms of percentages, but I'm fairly confident you're not going to be at 100% all the time. Economies of scale, people. Economies of scale. I'm definitely in the educational mode today, aren't I? Right, I'm coming up to a roundabout now, so I'm just going to stop for a wee while. Well, we're entering into the outskirts of Reading now, so this part's not so bad, to be honest. We're basically by the Reading, well, part of the Reading University is just to my left. Hotel over here, and there's a big stadium. It's a football stadium, but I only used to come here to watch rugby. If you're a rugby person, yeah, there used to be our local rugby team here, but now they moved towards London and then they went bankrupt. Well, there you go. Obviously not enough support. So yeah, this is actually fairly easy to go from where I live to here to get fuel. It's about, I'd say about 20 minutes drive or so, something like that. But sometimes it's just nice to get out, isn't it? Just get out in the old sunshine, because it's so rare. And just, I like driving. I enjoy a little drive. So, and one thing I'm really looking forward to in the next month or two is getting back on my old motorbike, which is sitting in Bangkok at the moment and waiting for me. So I really can't wait for that. Actually, I thought traffic would be a bit heavier. It's not too bad considering it's Sunday. I thought everyone goes to where I'm going. It's Costco. Everyone goes there on a Sunday. I imagine the big queues will be coming up shortly when I turn in a couple of minutes. So I'm not going to give you a history lesson on Reading because I don't know it. What I can tell you is Ricky Gervais comes from this place, so it's definitely produced one good thing. There you go. Yeah, if you like him, I think he's hilarious. He's very smart. So here we go. I think yes, that's right. Yep. I think it's like I come here all the time. I don't. Oh my lord! Yes, I was right. Traffic is horrendous going in there. So I'm going to switch off. I'll switch back on when we get into the old petrol station. All right. Okay. Well, we're here, and we're now about to fill up. So I'll be back. Just a sec. Oh. Okay, back in town. That costs £1.47 per litre of diesel. So if I include this little section in the final video, I'll do a comparison in terms of dollars and maybe euros. And you'll see how horrendously priced our fuel actually is. That's just diesel. But anyway, that is just for your information. Okay, so let me pull out of here. And what I'm going to do on the way back, I'm going to maybe point the camera forward so you can get an idea of what the countryside looks like.